Hashtag no music, no intro. Before we even talk about the Saints, I just want to play a juxtaposition game really quickly, if we can. Do you remember before the season started? I think me, you, maybe even a lot of people had just kind of maybe like rolled our eyes a little bit of all like the national attention the Lions were getting, right?
Yeah.
It was like, we crowning them already. They had the first.
Can they win?
Can they win? They had to open the game against the Chiefs. What did the Lions do in that opening game against the Chiefs?
Beat the Chiefs.
What round of the playoffs are the Lions playing in this upcoming season or this coming weekend?
Divisional round, baby.
Okay.
First time since 1991 they won a playoff game. Hey.
Nick, I was 3. Okay. Another little juxtaposition game, then I'm going to go back to the beginning and tie it all together. The Atlanta Falcons have interviewed in a span of like a week and a half Bill Belichick and Jim Harbaugh. Bill Belichick's won what? 5 Super Bowls?
No, 6, I think.
Is it 6? I think it's 5 because I think Tom got the 6 with the Bucks.
Yeah.
Right. Potentially. I don't know. I'm not going to look it up. Jim Harbaugh just won a national championship with Michigan. Was the man to bring the Niners back to prominence. Although a lot of the talent was there, but he put his imprint on that team. Obviously led them to a Super Bowl, led them to an NFC championship game that they got to by beating the Saints. And the Falcons, a division rival, are interviewing winners to potentially be their head coach. Go back to the beginning, though. Talking about the Lions. When you as a team have expectations put on you, I would venture to say that when the expectations are high, it's even harder to live up to those expectations because those expectations are on you. That's why it's so hard for teams who win championships to continue such a high level of excellence because you are getting everyone's best shot. Because the media has talked about you, you've been crowned the top. So the Lions making the divisional game tells me that they have a head coach in place, and I know that a lot of people may not like Dan Campbell. He's a little rah. Say whatever you want to say about Dan Campbell. He has coached this team to a divisional game, and when the expectations were set high for the Detroit Lions, he did not shrink in the moment. Exactly. If anything, he rose above them. Don't let that man go out there and win this weekend and go take the Lions to the NFC Championship game. The Detroit Lions, Ryan.
Lions, bro.
What were the expectations of the 2023 Saints? What were we talking about?
Just getting to the playoffs. Just kind of be in the mix.
Win the NFC South. Just win the NFC South and then
win 10 games. Can you go win 10? Win 10 games.
But I would say a majority was like the Saints should at the very least win the NFC South, right? I think as a consensus, that was something that was
the consensus.
Right?
Heavily favored to win the NFC South.
Thank you. Did they win the NFC South this season?
No.
Okay. So, in just doing that juxtaposition exercise, you have a head coach that had high expectations put on him and on his team, and not only did they meet those expectations, they exceeded them. And then you have the team like the New Orleans Saints, who the mere expectation was just winning the NFC South. The absolute shittiest division in football.
That's it.
And the man in charge, Dennis Allen, couldn't do it. We got a lot to talk about on this podcast. We got Pete gone, Cody Burns gone. And if that wasn't enough, if that was not enough, you had the presser. I refuse to go back and watch any of it. The quotes are enough for me.
Nah, bro. Gotta watch it, bro. You gotta watch it to get the full experience, bro. Gotta watch it, man. At least listen to it. The audio will probably drive you crazy because he chewing on gum the whole time, bro. Like murderously chewing on gum. Just
oh my,
like an Italian eating pizza. Like, hey yo, hey.
Do you know my mom, God rest her soul, would smack the shit out of my mouth if she heard me smacking, bro. It was one of her biggest pet peeves.
My wife, boy, she can't stand shit like that, bro. Bro, that shit was driving me. He said he's chewing. He said, "Look, I'm chewing gum because I got a cough, and I'm chewing so I won't cough." And I was like, "Man, what is Mickey
chewing
doing?"
Gum because you're lying. I'm usually pretty good at leading this, Ryan. I don't even know where to lead this. I don't even know where to start. Let's start with the news that happened first. Like, so there was this big hubbub of like this big news that was going to happen on airline, and all it was just what was it, bro? It was just it's what we've been saying it was going to be, bro. Pete got told to look at the flowers, bro. Just look at the flowers, Pete. Bro, Pete was like, please, like, oh, put it right here. Blow my head back, please.
Pete had his boxes packed already, bro. Pete was already ready to go.
Bro, Pete's box has been packed since the first offseason since his child left, bro.
He just gave his little badge. All right, here you go. See y'all later. They probably had like a little luncheon, Had some cake and all right, guys.
That had 18 on it.
It's kind of wild though. He was with the Saints 18 seasons, bro.
18, bro.
Longer than any coordinator in the league, bro.
That's a whole ass like adult at this point. Person born in 2006 is 18 now, right?
That's crazy.
That's how long Pete's been.
That's crazy, bro. And look, man, we laugh at Pete, bro. Like, but good on him, bro. He had a nice career, man. Nice career with the Saints.
He did.
We were, he caught fire from everybody, Saints fans, us, everybody. But he had a nice career with the Saints, man. It seemed like a pretty good dude, like just a good, solid, just good coach. Every person, every player has talked well about him ever.
A high character person. Like that's one thing. And this is going to be a theme of this episode: is who you are as a person. Because we find some stuff out. Because whatever was going on with the team offensively, whether it's Pete's fault or not Pete's fault, Pete always said, put it on him. He took the bullet. He took the blame. That's what a leader, and Pete's not even known to be a leader, right? Like Pete's but that's what a person with high moral standing does, especially in something like the NFL when you're like an NFL coach of any capacity.
Yeah.
The interesting one to me, Cody Burns.
Mm-hmm. Harry.
Remember correctly, DA comes in. Oh, Curtis Johnson. Oh, he might try to big time me in front of the players. Like someone might usurp my authority. Curtis, you going away. I know you done been a head coach at Tulane, but I know best. Fired Curtis Johnson, brought in Cody Burns from Tennessee, and I mean, that's one of the things, right? As a wide receivers coach, it's kind of hard to see what the results are.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have a player like Rashid Shaheed who primarily, came in as a returner and now like legitimately is an NFL weapon at wide receiver.
Yeah.
A.T. Perry was a rookie, came on during the season. So I maybe he was potentially doing his job well, and then 2 seasons he's gone. Our girl D put it on Twitter that a potential reason why Cody was gone was that maybe he didn't like the head coach of the Saints, Dennis Allen, continually throwing wide receivers on the bus for doing things that wasn't their fault, but nothing was said wrong about Derek Carr. And here's the thing with being two-faced is I think that people just have a sense that, oh, it was just the players that felt that way. When you're doing wrong, bruh, when you're doing wrong, people notice that stuff. People notice it, man.
Oh man,
So
hell yeah.
I'm not gonna say that's the complete reason that maybe Cody Burns doesn't have a job, but I think it's part of the reason. And you have someone like Joel Thomas who's been with the team for years say, you know what? Saquon, Brian Dable, like I don't care. New York, snow, blizzards, give me that over them working with Dennis Allen.
I go lie. Bye, Joel. Like I'm so sick of this run game. But like, goodbye.
Hey,
but like with Cody, like, but
gotta stick with the agenda, Brian. Got like the agenda. Gotta push
hey,
it.
look, got an agenda. I gotta push now.
Shout out to Rob.
But man, with Cody, I mean, think about it. You had Mike Thomas, come out publicly on Twitter and basically defend Chris Olave, among other things. Mike Thomas has tweeted, you know what I'm saying, and put out on social media. You gotta understand, like wide receiver coaches, they are like close, from a coach's standpoint, they are closest to the player than any other person on the coaching staff. You know what I'm saying? Like those position coaches, they sit in those rooms with them all day. Like they boys. You know what I'm saying? They text each other. They tight. You know what I'm saying? So it's just my working theory that word probably got back to DA that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, Cody ain't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? This is my working theory. This is not reporting. This is not me, talking to sources or nothing like that.
Reporting a little bit. Reporting just a little bit.
I'm just saying. It's just weird that the wide receiver coach get capped. You know what I'm saying? But Doug Marone's still there. It's like, what's exactly going on here? You know what I'm saying? What's going on here? We'll never know. We'll never know the truth. Cody, hey, open mic right here. Come holler, bro.
Right here. We'll reach out. Here's the, and should we talk about was Mickey gonna like take a higher role, and then Kai was gonna become GM, and so much, Ryan, so much in such a short period of time happened, bro. Like, let's go with that because I'm still stuck on this morality thing as a person. I'm gonna ask these questions to you hypothetically. I want to protect people, right? So when Saints Happy Hour reported that, just a quick note, it was hilarious to me that got reported and got ran with, and no one questioned single source. But we say shit, and it's like, who do these Negroes know? But let me just get back to matter at him. It gets reported, gets ran with a little bit, ran with a lot, I should say. And even though Mickey during the presser said like his role is not changing, blah 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 blah, which who knows? He may not. It still may change, right? We don't know. But I'm gonna ask you this: so if Mickey had gotten a higher position, promoted, whatever, and Kai became GM, how would that have, in theory, if things didn't go well this upcoming season, and let's say, like at that point, they had no choice but to fire Dennis Allen, who would be the person that would be firing Dennis Allen at that point?
The guy.
Oh, is there anything in there that would benefit Mickey?
Yeah. I mean, it takes the heat off him. Kai is the GM. Kai got to sit at that press and answer them questions. You know what I'm saying?
So it's the morality thing. I keep going back to this morality thing. Here's another thing that's even funnier. I get the sense, regardless of whatever was said at this presser today, there's like this sense that if things don't work with Dennis Allen this upcoming season, that he's not going to be like that next season will be his last season. If that's the prevailing thought in the front office as it is, why did this man have a job?
Please make me understand that. Please make me understand it.
I need
Either
to know,
you believe in him or not. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Either you believe in him or not. And according to Mickey, he believes in Dennis Allen. You know, we got a young Chuck Noll right here, bro. Chuck Noll, Tom Landry, like the dude that basically built the NFL. Right here, bro. Tom Landry. Right here. Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick's name was brought up next to Dennis Allen. Bill Belichick. Bill Walsh. The architect of the West Coast offense. The dude that built the NFL offenses today. His name was brought up with Dennis Allen. It was a
24-46, Ryan.
bruh. I'm so glad he did it, bro. I'm so glad he did it, man. I'm so glad. Oh, you go ahead, because I don't even know if we was getting to the
You rolling right now. Just keep going.
I was just saying, like, I'm so glad he did it because finally got some national spotlight put on what we've been dealing with down here. Because people don't be paying attention to the New Orleans Saints. If we going through it down here, this is what we dealing with right now. You know what I'm saying? And I must say, bro, watching this presser, I've never seen Mickey like that. I've never seen, because, Mickey just kind of like, executive, close to the vest, keep everything buttoned up. But he came out ready, bro. He was ready. He was fired up. He looked like he was on that Jim Irsay time. Like he didn't took a little hit before he got on there. He was sweating. I'm like,
maybe he need to call Jim again, because Jim probably hired Shane Steichen higher shit, and he got the head coaching hire right. So maybe he need to call Jim and ask him what more. Hey, what was you taking? Because whatever I took did not work.
For real, man, for real. But I had never seen. And Mickey was in counterattack mode. You could tell he felt attacked. He felt attacked all season. For somebody that loves to say, "Hey, we don't pay attention to the outside," bullshit. Anybody that watched that presser knows he pays attention to everything that's being said.
Everything. The entire team does.
And he came out. He pulled out a pad out of his back pocket when first question he got was asked, "Why did you keep Dennis out? For what reason?" He pulled that little tablet out, like he was just about to drop some fire, just like our case against Dennis Allen. Just like our case against Dennis Allen.
It's like he listened to it and he like made counterpoints, bro.
And this nigga gonna come with some win-loss record stats for some of the greatest NFL head coaches, Hall of Fame head coaches over the past 50 years.
So you saying if Mickey was DA's attorney in the trial, right? You remember my cousin Benny?
Yeah, exactly.
And you had the attorney that looked like he was great, and he just get up there and just start stuttering. That was Mickey, bro.
and thought he was cooking. Like if you watch it, you like, oh, you think he really cooking? Like, bro, you are cooking yourself right now.
Idiot, bro.
Cooking yourself, man, because you making yourself look bad. Like, bro, I told somebody, I was like, man, just come out and say, like, man, look, I believe in D. That's why. You know what I'm saying? Like, he does this, does that. Don't give me that Hall of Fame. Because come on now. We know that's not who DA is. DA is not and will never be a Hall of Fame or Hall of Fame caliber head coach in the NFL. I will stand on that. It will not happen.
Won't happen, bro.
It's not that I wish it. It's not that I wish it won't happen.
Won't
It
happen.
just won't happen
Won't
because
happen.
we see what it is, and for him to come out like that, and then just it's like, you ever talk to some? You do it all the time. You talk to people all the time that's bullshitting you. You know they're bullshitting you, and you even you know they know that they're bullshitting.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
But we all supposed to sit here and act like nobody's being bullshitted. That's what it felt like. I was like, Loomis, this is stupid. Like, this is stupid what you're saying.
But that's what we've been saying on this podcast is like, don't try to BS us as the fans. Like, we're dumb. Not dumb. We are not dumb. The New Orleans fan base is a highly intelligent fan base. Period.
Emotional, irrational, yes. But we know our shit too.
But we know our shit, right? This I had to. This is Kat. Like put a clarifying thing. This is like verbatim quote. My assessment is Dennis Allen is a good coach. And again, Sean Payton, we went 10-6 the first year. And then we went 7-9, 8-8. I heard some of the same noise. But at the time, I knew we had a good coach, a good football coach. And so I think sometimes the hard thing to do is to be patient. Can you give me one distinct difference between Sean Payton's first 3 years and DA's, even just DA's 2 years as the Saints head coach? Not even looking back to Oakland, because I know Mickey likes to pretend that doesn't exist. But like just those 2 years, a big difference in those between them.
Like the NFC Championship.
Oh, like the NFC Championship game, nigga.
In his first season, where the season prior to that, the Saints went 3-13 and went through one of the worst natural disasters in U.S. history and went to the NFC Championship the next year. Like, what are you talking about, bro? This is why it's like, bro. That's why what Loomis did caused him credibility. That whole spiel he did about the Hall of Fame head coaches, it caused him credibility because everybody know you full of shit. You full of shit right now. And you bring up, oh my God. Then you talk about Belichick. He brought up Belichick's like first couple of seasons with the Browns. Not with the Patriots, with the Browns. But you don't bring up DA's first couple of seasons with Oakland.
We cherry pick.
just cherry picking. He bring up Bill Walsh, but he only mentioned the first 2 seasons of Bill Walsh, but not his third season, because his third season he went 13-2 or whatever. 13. It's like, come on, bro. What are you doing?
Let me bring it full circle. Remember DA's presser? How he was kind of like throwing that jab at Sean, that 9-8, 9-8. It's the same exact shit. They are peas of a fucking pod, and as much as we can be hard on DA, and as much as we can be hard on Mickey, this is a Gail Benson problem.
Oh yeah,
this is a Gail Benson problem because it's like we were saying in the Discord last night. To quote you when you were talking about Marcus Davenport, like, it's like, does Gail Benson like money?
Yeah.
Because this is happening under her watch. And we get it. She liked to buy her brooches. She liked to be charitable and boss the help around and make public appearances. Don't give two shits about like the Pelicans or the Saints, really? But at some point during this past season, I think it was maybe around the Jags game-ish. Something changed. And as hands-off that she has been thus far, something changed and she was not happy with how things were going with the Saints. I think I can now finally come out and fully say that. To the point where if things had continued to go poorly and bad, I think she was willing to step in and force a change. But what happened a lot during the games, there was those fake comebacks. The Giants game had the fake comeback. The Texans game kind of ish had a fake comeback. There's a lot of the Lions game had a big fake comeback. A lot of these fake comebacks steered the things, which in my head is like, why is this fake comeback steering the situation? Because if you're just looking at it, if I'm seeing that what I pay for goes into every game unprepared, then that's a problem. Like, it shouldn't be any fake comebacks. It should be, why are these players not prepared to play football? So a lot of things went into, maybe she didn't go as hard as she was initially wanting to, but at the bottom line, this is about money. And I know that's something that Gail was not happy about this past season, because I think she started seeing how when the results on the field don't add up, it affects the bottom dollar. And that makes owners pay attention. And a press conference that was had like that today, in what world does that inspire us as consumers? And I'm just saying, in general, a consumer who's a New Orleans Saints fan, you watch that press conference today, you hear that press conference today, you say, well, God damn it, I am going to fucking renew my season tickets immediately.
Hell no, it's the opposite reaction.
Shit!
I'm calling them. I'm not renewing. Don't bother sending me an email.
Don't call me. Nothing.
Oh, that's what they're selling. They're trying to sell us on DA. And here's the thing, like, and look, I get it to a certain extent. They did finish 9-8, a winning record, missed the playoffs. You could be there's a lot of you could be worse than 9-8. You know, you could be in a worse situation than where they are. So you could put on the rose-colored shades, and if you want to squeeze and look, you say, okay, they won the last 45 games. Derek Carr started looking a little better.
Let's change the offensive coordinator.
Players started coming together a little bit. Okay, I could squint and see maybe a path to improvement. You know what I'm saying? But you also just got to be honest and take a holistic look at the whole situation, where it's just not working. Like what they talked about in Loomis precedent. He talked about how, you know, how everybody's gotten a little too comfortable. Everybody's gotten a little too comfortable. That was his message to the players. That was his message to the coaches. That was his message to the front office, football operation, everything. Everybody got too comfortable with where we are, and, you know, standards need to be, back to what they used to be. And the whole time I'm thinking, and matter of fact, like Mike Triplett was trying to ask him this, but like, wasn't that the whole reason you kept DA and the whole continuity and the culture and this and that? And he kind of just, you know, sidestep. No, not go into that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, this is some bullshit right here, man. This is some bullshit. But I will say this, like him saying that, him at least admitting that things have gotten too comfortable around there, that the standards haven't been up to par. At least I could take that. Like, I'm like, okay, at least they see that shit. You know what I'm saying? The standards are, but it's like, are you just talking? Like, are you just trying to say the right thing? Like, you know, like we do men. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes we just gotta say the right things. Like, you know, like, yeah, baby, I need to communicate better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't communicating as good as I should. You know.
This man coming so smooth with, like, he done used it before. Bray, don't listen to this. Don't listen to this episode. But here's the thing. it's funny that he went on this like I don't know, this tangent about players and people being too comfortable when the most comfortable person who doesn't have any worry at all is Mickey Loomis and to a lesser degree Dennis Allen.
Exactly.
Like when you chilling, like Mickey Loomis, there is no one coming for his job. There is nothing set to happen to him because of how close he is to Gail Benson, and so like it's like stones, bro. Stones in glass houses, bro. Just like you're the most comfortable one out of everybody, and the coach that you hired is pretty goddamn comfortable himself after not making the playoffs or winning the division 2 years in a row. But again, it's this account. It's everyone else's deal. The players, the coach, the other coaches. It's all theirs. I believe like the Marshawn thing was brought up, like the option.
Sidestep.
Sidestep
the shit out there.
John Gruden. Something that was interesting. Let me get it back. Is going to kind of going back to the whole Marshawn thing. And I know he was asked about like Derek Carr and like the restructuring of his contract or whatever. What I took away from this press conference is just reading all the quotes and the paraphrasing that came from this presser is that we as Saints fans have to realize that we have a very delusional front office right now.
Yep.
We have a front office that is delusional. We have a GM who, and I said this in the Discord, and I've been beating this drum all season, probably even before the season, is that you have a GM who is his ego is so big and he's so set on proving to everyone that, you know, it wasn't just Sean Payton. It wasn't just Drew Brees. It was Mickey was part of it too. It's like he wants to be like, it's a group project and he wants like the teacher to like realize like his contribution he made to the group project. Nigga, just take the A. Just take the A, bro. Like, right. But his ego and his hubris isn't allowing him to. So he is so set on showing that he can win without Sean that and it's not even so much DA's fault at this from the like, because he is so set on proving everyone wrong that he is destroying the Saints single-handedly. Like, do you know how big your ego got to be that you are? And the crazy thing is, here's the thing. I want to say, well, maybe he actually believes it. Well, if he actually believed it, then why was there potentially a succession plan that was potentially going to take the heat off him if he had to be fired next season? So does he actually believe it?
Does.
No. I've been waiting for this one. I've been waiting for this one and kind of like, man, what all can I say on the pod? What can I not say? But I just want like I want that was so powerful. I'm going to say it again. If you believed it so much, if you believed in Dennis Allen so much, and if you were as delusional as people think that you are, why is there a potential plan to set up to take the heat off you if Dennis Allen has to be fired next season? So that means you are intentionally dismantling what the New Orleans Saints are because of your hubris and because you, bottom line, Mickey Loomis is a fucking bitch.
Speak on it. Speak on
Mickey Loomis is a bitch. Can I say it? Can I say it?
Yeah, yes you can.
Be a fucking man. You get paid millions of fucking dollars to do what? You got to go out and do a couple of pressers here and there. You fly around. You got to go to games, home and away games, blah, blah, blah. Boo-hoo. You getting paid all this money. You close to Gale. You close to the Bences and all that. You got it made in the shade. Be a fucking man. Have some balls. Like, to me, one of the biggest things I learned these last couple of days is that Mickey Loomis has no like conviction. And when someone has no conviction and he's supposed to lead the team, the general manager, he's supposed to lead the team. Nah, man, this is some dark shit. Because when you're setting up a potential plan to not get the heat put on you if your plan didn't work,
some dark shit, bro.
You said on this podcast on the past before, when the offense wasn't playing well under Sean, what did Sean say? We got to play better.
Wasn't good. Not good enough.
Not good enough.
Not good enough.
We got to play better. And so it's on me. I'll be a man. Sorry, and I don't want to make this like a toxic masculinity thing or whatever. Just be a person with conviction. And if you didn't get it right, then stand in line and get the fire for not getting it right. And then maybe try to have an actual coaching search next time and try to get it right.
That's it.
We are
That's it.
A mist of maybe Bill Belichick's going to go somewhere this season. Jim Harbaugh may be coming back to the NFL. Pete Carroll's out there. Maybe he goes to coach, and maybe he goes up in Seattle's Seattle like as a higher role. There are Super Bowl winning coaches and a coach who has turned around, who's a program builder in Jim Harbaugh. Terrible person, mind you, and he would fit in great with the Saints, Catholics and all that. But that's no offense to Catholics, by the way. I'm just saying it. If you know, you know.
No offense taken.
No. Oh, right. So there's a plethora of winning head coaches available, right? Like this, it would have to be us. This has never happened before that I can think, where you have 2 Hall of Fame head coaches, and if Jim Harbaugh won a Super Bowl and like they are just available, you just gotta.
It's out there, bro. It's out there, bro.
The Falcons have interviewed 2 of them, Ryan. 2 of them.
And Ben Johnson ain't even hit the market yet.
But we got young Bill Walsh on the staff, and we supposed to be okay, bro. Okay.
We all right. We good. We good over here. We good over here. But it's like you said, man, no conviction. And he's having fake conviction about DA. Like, I believe he is a good head coach. That's what he said. I believe DA is a good head coach. And I just, how? Like, where do you see that? Like, give me the evidence. Show me the evidence. You got players. You admitted yourself. The players split during the season. There was a split. There was, whatever you want to call it. I mean, if you don't want to say lost the locker room, didn't lose the locker, I don't care how you split it.
Mutiny.
There were issues. Mutiny. There was issues in the Saints locker room this season. And you can say, oh, well, because it wasn't winning. Well, was it because they weren't winning, or were they not winning because of it? Like, which one is it? You know what I'm saying? You have, I mean, we could just talk about the coaching decisions, game by game. Like, do you ever, like Mickey Loomis, watching the Saints, do you ever watch and be like, man, we have a coaching advantage? I never feel that way. I just never feel that way.
Ever.
Man, DA, we got DA.
Ever.
There was plenty of times going into games like with Sean Payton. I'm sorry, we got to keep it with Sean Payton. There were plenty of times, and he didn't win all of them, but there were times like, man, even if our team wasn't that good, like our talent wasn't that good, like, man, but Sean Payton, you know what I'm saying? You just had that faith, like, man, he could come up with a plan. You know what I'm saying? Even through like some of those 79 years, they'll beat a really good, really good Eagles team or a good Cowboys team or something like that, where they just came up with a plan to beat that good team. I never feel that way with Dennis Allen, and he hasn't showed any evidence. Yeah, okay, he beat the Bucs. The Bucs are quote unquote a good team this year. Okay, you beat them. Good job.
Oh, bro,
Way to go.
I was watching the game on Monday. I'm just like, oh, I already see the tweet been written. Like someone like
They're thumping their chest, bro. You already know.
the Bucks is this year's Eagles team with Da and Trey Klein walking in the locker room, bro. This is the Bucks team is that team for this year, bro. And it was in Tampa just like it was in Philly, bro. Like it is identical. Here's the thing though, and I'm glad that our dude Luke keeps pointing it out. Did everyone get the Man in Black eraser regarding that fucking Thursday night Rams game? Did everyone get that? You know what? I didn't get it because we were there, right?
It's like, what are we doing here? But won the last 4 or 5 games. What's that 4 of 5? What's that one you keep omitting? That would have put you in the playoffs.
And you got dog.
Put you in the playoffs.
You got dog
what? Looked like you didn't belong. Looked like you didn't belong. I don't care what the score said. Nope. Go and pull up the score and the stats and be like, oh, it was kind of close. Bro. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. It was not.
Watch the game. It was not close.
It was a snuff film, bro. And do you remember that Sunday night football game? It was Saints Cowboys, and the Cowboys like blew us the fuck out. And it was like Tony Romo, DeMarco Murray, Dez Bryant.
Yeah.
I don't remember what year it was. So that game was.
I don't remember what year.
That game was in Dallas. I want to say maybe 2015, maybe.
Something like that.
But that game was in Dallas. I went to that game with my uncle, and it was a bloodbath. And I think we left like mid third quarter, right? And that obviously that was with Drew, blah blah blah. Even that game, what did not feel anything remotely close to that Saints Rams game on Thursday Night Football, man. Like I can't even verbally explain how lopsided that game was, but just being there where our seats were, we got to see kind of like basically like the all 22, and I saw I just saw it, man. Like we didn't belong on the field. Like we did not belong on the fucking field. Here's the thing. We play them next year.
And they made the playoffs, even though they're out the playoffs now.
Let me throw this. Let me throw this thing at you real quick. We just keep the shit real. The Rams had 2 rookies that they drafted this year. One had 8 sacks. One had 7 sacks. You could add up the sacks that Foskey and Peyton Turner had his whole career, bro, and don't even get close to the many sacks. One of the rookies had this season, Ryan.
Right. And the Rams ain't had a first round pick since Jared Goff?
Could the niggas be scouting? Scouting, Ryan.
Come on, man. And these are things that weren't mentioned. Like Loomis loves to just paint everything like, just something. It's like, bruh, like talk about the misses on first round picks.
Was Trevor Penning brought up?
Yeah, Trevor Penning.
Okay.
He was brought up, and we still believe in Trevor Penning, and it was unfortunate he got hurt, and then some confidence issues, and look, it was, and he, Loomis. Sometimes you admit things. Sometimes you talk so much, you admit things.
Oh boy, and he said, my clients do it all the time.
Exactly, and he said he felt Penning got thrown into the fire this year. So he got thrown into the fire. He missed part of the offseason because he was recuperating. And then he gets thrown in as the starter. I'm like, Loomis, whose decision was that? Bill Walsh. Bill Walsh. That was Bill Walsh's decision. And then you talk about confidence. It's like the answer's right in front. You are answering your own question right now, bro. It's like, it's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. But
Um,
but DA is a good head coach.
Stellar. Let's go back to the whole Pete thing real quick. So I've been really on the fence about if we should do like a draft party for our Patreons this year. Listen, man, I'm looking at these prices. Hold on. I was looking at these prices. Man, as Saints fans, like what do we really have to look forward to this season? Like, I mean, this off season.
Not much, man.
Well, maybe season 2, but like at least keep it to the off season, right? Not a whole bunch, right?
Not a lot, bro.
We owe it to the people who support us to give them something to look forward to, bro. Like, I'm looking, like, the prices ain't terrible. And if we gonna be in this type of football hell, bro, at least we be in it with fucking people who are in it with us. So I haven't made the decision yet, but I think I might pull the trigger on it. I think we might have to do another draft meetup. Maybe. We'll see.
Hey, tell me I'm there.
Okay. So one other thing. I don't want to get the quote wrong, but did Mickey bring up something regarding like there needed to be like something like exciting happening or whatever, or they needed some type of excitement, or I don't remember what the quote was. So now I gotta find it.
I don't remember that one.
I think it was put in our Discord. Hopefully, I know this is great podcasting. It was like from today. Okay, I found it. Sorry. Okay. He said, our dude, Andrew Hugh one says, I thought it was funny that he said they need to get some excitement going in the building. Okay. So my response to that is like, that was something that was said at the presser. They need something exciting going in the building. How is that like to the fans? If that's what you're saying, you're going to reward the fans with excitement by potentially trading Marshawn Lattimore, maybe trading Taysom Hill, maybe trading Alvin AK. That's going to be exciting in the building?
I don't see it. I don't see where the excitement come from. Outside of drafting a quarterback high, like
these are the two things. As a fan, these are the two things that would legit get me excited. Not a lot, but just a little like shiver, right? Like, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, drafting a quarterback, probably high, or drafting Brock Bowers. That's it, bro. That's it. That is it. That is it. I kind of had made this, and this is just me, messing around in Discord and kind of just thinking like a team building perspective, right? Is that right now this team is so focused on winning with Dennis Allen, winning with Derek Carr. Like, what's the best way to maximize that potentially for the short term and long term? If DA and Derek Carr is not going to be here long term, which they probably aren't. And so I just said, if you're going to go with like just we believe in Derek stick so much, and it's probably not needed because you have Chris Olave, you have Rashid Shaheed, you have a A.T. Perry. Go sign T. Higgins. Sign T. Higgins in free agency. Go sign T. Higgins. Go draft Brock Bowers. That's it. And whatever you would say, and I'm not saying that would make the team good, great, or whatever. At the very least, that should be, depending on what Derek Carr we get, that should be somewhat exciting, right? Because again, I'm not looking at this from like, oh, this is going to be long term for Dennis Allen and those are good players good to great players that you have on your team, regardless of who's at the helm of it.
Right. Exactly.
That's some shit you could do that make it exciting.
And that's where I'm at now with the off season. I'm like, you know what? I'm looking long term. I'm looking at
there you go.
What can we do? What can we do this off season to build it for the next head coach? To build it for the next quarterback?
There you
know
go.
what I'm saying? Because time. The Saints ain't going nowhere. They're still going to be here, whether that's Dennis Allen leaving or whatever. You still got to build a team. So I'm just kind of looking at it like that. And they are, they're doing the offensive coordinator search.
I was just
They put in
about to talk.
requests for. Okay, you can go ahead.
So they requested Dan Pitcher, who is the quarterbacks coach for the Bengals, Zach Robinson, who's the Rams passing game coordinator, and Shane Waldron, who is the Seahawks offensive coordinator. So something that
Interesting names.
it is something that I was a little weird to me that I needed clarifying was I was just coming from the standpoint is that they wanted to interview people last season for OC and no one returned their calls. So essentially I, was asking like what changed, right? Like why, do they potentially have these people calling them back? They have these interviews potentially set up. So I'll start with Shane Waldron, and again, I'm going to play the hypothetical kind of ask Ryan question game. So Shane Waldron was the Seahawks was Seahawks offensive coordinator. We say is. What happened with the Seahawks this offseason?
They failed. They didn't make.
No, offseason.
They got fired. The head coach got moved on from.
Okay, who hired Shane Waldron?
Pete Carroll.
So if you're saying Waldron, I'm not gonna use one of your Wire quotes because you hate when I quote the Wire. But if you see that the person that hired you is no longer employed, what might that mean for you?
Yeah, you got to have no job, nigga. The job.
It's cold, bro.
Cold out there. That's just the facts of the business. There's only 32 OC jobs available. You know what I'm saying? Every year. So but look, I will say they put requests to interview these people. Like they just request. Now we ain't no interviews set up as far as I know, as far as I can see from the report, and ain't nothing set up. So we'll see. If they get the return calls, if the Rams approve, they're
I don't think they
can.
Yeah,
they can't deny that
because it's higher.
It's a step up, right?
Yeah,
but we'll see.
I don't think this would happen because this time they put the request like this time they act like it's actually like public that the requests were made, but last year it kind of like it really wasn't, right?
Calls. Yeah.
Oh, it would be. I don't think this would happen, but man, it would be embarrassing as fuck if they requested all three and they all got.
Bro,
I don't think I don't think that could happen, bro. I would have never seen anything like that. But because at that point it'd be national, bro. Like,
yeah, man. You wouldn't want to see that. But those are interesting names. I said, you could tell they're obviously going for the McVay, Shanahan tree type of thing, which, nothing wrong with that, man. Like, I'm all for bringing in some new blood. I thought Dan Pitcher did a good job with, what's their backup QB name?
Jake Browning.
Jake Browning, I thought he did a real good job there.
Yes.
Zach Robinson, apparently he used to work for PFF before he got with McVay. I'm like, what the hell?
What?
PFF? Yeah.
Nigga.
Got to start with PFF. And
ain't no way, bro.
So he'll be interested in Shane Waldron. He did a good job with Geno last year. This year, I mean, Geno wasn't terrible, but he just kind of took a step back.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see what they bring to the table and what they're allowed to bring to the table.
Thank you.
Is
Thank
key.
you talking about it.
What DA allows them to bring to the table? Because if you're gonna be heavy-handed, and I want this, I mean, look, obviously as the head coach, you got to have a global vision of what you want.
Well, we back to what is the vision?
What's the vision? What's the vision? Also, you bring in some young head coach, you got to let them bring their ideas. Here's what I want to do. Here's what I see offense. Here's some things I want to bring to the table. Here's some players we can this player right here and this player right here might not work for what I want to do or something like that. You got to let them, they might want to bring another coach or two with them or something
Right.
like that. You got to be open to let them cook, man, because you are a defensive head coach. Let somebody do like Sean Payton bit his nuts 2009. He bit his nuts. He said, you know what? I'm going to get rid of my friend Joe Gibbs or whatever his name was.
Gary Gibbs.
Gary Gibbs. I'm going to take less of my salary and, make Greg Williams the highest paid coordinator in the NFL because we need some defense on this team. We cannot do this. And he gave Greg Williams the keys to the defense. He said, you run it. You run it how you want to run it. Look, this is what I like. I like pressure. You cook for me, and we going to go get it. And that's what he did. DA, he's going to have to do the same thing. Bring you OC, give him the keys, and let him do his thing, man. Either it works or it don't,
Wouldn't the crazy inverse of this upcoming season be like the offense actually be pretty decent, but like the defense regresses because they're getting around. They're getting rid of. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say the Marshawn thing's like 100% gonna happen, but it's probably like more than 50. I would say at least more than 50, right? So Marshawn's gone potentially. That's a hit on defense. Demario Davis, who made second team All Pro. Like he's 36, and we still need to do our, our players trending up episode when I'm sure we will, but, but I mean, just like as a preview, do not name Brian Bresee. Who are the ascending players on the Saints defense?
I can't think of any, man.
I would maybe, and it's a super small sample size, but I like what I saw from Jordan Howden. But he's a rookie. That is it, Ryan. Like, can't even say Zach Bond because he's a free agent.
Free agent, like outside of Bresee, it's tough sledding, man. And my thing is, where's the speed on defense, man? It's becoming a slower defense. Where you just like people really need to try not to fall for the fool's gold. The Saints not only had one of the easiest schedules this season, or the easiest schedule, they had one of the easiest schedules in like the last 30 years. Like it was a ridiculously easy schedule, bro. Like,
and that is
absurdly
not even counting for that's just the teams that they played, that they were scheduled against.
Right.
That is not even accounting for the amount of injury luck they got this season. They played the Packers without, and I don't want to go on the tangent, but I was really thinking about it watching that Packers Cowboys game. Like I know that both Mickey Loomis and DA are gonna like look back on those Green Bay games and the Bucks game that they won and like be like, but look, see, like, see how, and it's like watching that Packers game. I know he's gotten some heat in the past. Michael LaFleur can coach his ass off, bro.
Oh yeah, man.
Michael LaFleur can coach his ass off, and that is a team that, and this is just the Packers do, and I don't want to get into it, but I was just kind of just juxtaposing those two teams because then you have someone like Cam Jordan on Twitter talking about like, oh, it's 9-8, and it was just the Packers. Like when I was saying the shit about DA and his loser mentality infecting the culture of the Saints, that was the shit I was talking about, bruh. I didn't think it was going to be Cam out of all players.
You Cam.
A younger
but
player.
You know what? Like, yeah. But a lot of players feel like that. But a lot of players are just like, man, we just want to get to the dance. You know what I'm saying? But, like, come on, man. Like, the standards have to be high, and that has to come from the top.
That's my point.
Those high standards have to come from the top.
This man was like saying, "Well, we were 8-9 and 8-2," and I'm like,
bro, Nick Sirianni was in the Super Bowl like a year ago, and I saw fired Nick Sirianni signs in the stadium.
it was all good.
And there are questions about whether
it was all good just a week ago.
Mike McCarthy, what? Back to back 12-win seasons. But the standard ain't met. Y'all lose as soon as y'all get in the playoffs. The standard ain't there. Like set the standard high, man. And yes, Loomis did talk about that today, but it's just talk. Like you got to show me actions. Actions speak louder than words, man.
I
want to show me you have high standards.
I want to thank you for kind of putting the perfect bow on this podcast episode in terms of setting the standards, because it goes back to what I talked about at the very beginning of the podcast episode with the Detroit Lions. Their standard was right here coming into the league. And the funny thing is, like, they probably put those standards on themselves, because I'm sure that's kind of how Dan Campbell rolls. But the standard was set so high for them because two things. One, if you just watched Detroit football games last season, you saw it, bro. Like, you saw it. Like, you like, man, this team is close. Like, they get some, this team is close, right? Plus, they're the Lions, and they're kind of like the lovable loser, and people want them to do well, and I get that.
Of course.
But the internal standard was already set high for the Lions. And then here comes big NFL media, and they just putting the standard that's even higher, bro.
Yep.
To have the pressure of that being your standard, and not only meeting that standard, but achieving that standard, is a mark of how a team is ran greatly by great leadership. But when you have players out here tweeting, "Oh, well, we were 9 and 8, just like the Bucs were too, and they just got," let me stop. Let me stop. Anyway,
get Cam out of here. Time to go, Cam.
Please.
Go get your ass on NFL Network.
Like Dennis Allen was running that man down with multiple vehicles in their presser. Yeah. Anyway, we went over an hour. I knew we would. I was like, man, we might hit 2 hours tonight, but we're not gonna get 2 hours. But I think we hopefully covered as much as we could from everything that's happened these last couple of days. I kind of apologize for not being up sooner, but I was spending time visiting grandma in Texas and Lubbock, and so all this shit was happening. I was like, we'll talk about this shit when I get back. Like, I had
we got time. We got time. It's just funny, man. Mitch, my dude, Time Lord Mitch said in the Discord, like, man, can we get some good news? It's just like, nah, bro. I don't see it. I don't see where the good news coming from. I don't know. I need it. Like, I'm like, man, I want something good to happen. Damn, we get something.
Something, bro.
Damn.
Something. I don't know. It feels just like a gross place to be as a fan. And I think what makes this off season especially worse is kind of what I was saying on earlier, is that there are so many actually like great winning head coaches available. Like if this was like a shitty coaching cycle, I'd be like, well, I mean, yeah, you know what I mean? But like, you got Bill Belichick. You whoever, do you remember that clip that Arthur Blank got asked, and like it went like viral because like it was like a great media question, and people, like whoever the reporter was, just asked Arthur Blank a question that honestly should have been asked like Mickey Loomis during the presser today. Honestly, like it was like, bah, 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 right? Basically saying is like, y'all suck. Like y'all haven't been winning. So what are you like? So what are you going to be able to tell the fans that it's going to change this season, this next upcoming season? Because whatever y'all been saying the last couple seasons, it don't work. It's not working. How's it going to change? I'm paraphrasing. And Arthur Blank said, that's a good question. Like he said, we were, he kind of gave like kind of the typical owner answer, but you could tell just in listening to that he was like, we gotta get this shit right?
Right.
And then they go out and interview Bill Belichick and Jim Harbaugh in a span of a couple of days. Our division rivals are interviewing absolute winners, but yet the head coach of the Saints just apologized to the former head. This is where we are. What are we talking about? We're talking about expectations.
Expectations and standards. And
standards, bro.
I talked about it. I said, I don't know if that was on Discord, but it's like Gail Benson is really her. Like she has to constantly ask, because she owns a business, a multi-billion-dollar business. You know, she has to constantly ask herself, are we doing everything humanly possible with all the resources we have available to be the best? To be the best. Not second best, not third best, the best. And I don't see how you could ask that question of yourself and then look at what y'all doing and be like, yes, we're doing everything possible. When you got Bill Belichick out there, you got Jim Harbaugh out there, you got Ben Johnson potentially being out there soon. You know, I don't see how you can honestly say that, answer that question with a yes, and look at what's been on the field. Look at the product that's been on the field the last 2-3 years. You know,
because I mean, here's the thing: if we just speak in businesses, I'm not a super astute business person, but your consumers telling you what they think of your product, are they not?
Exactly.
And
exactly.
Last time I checked, it's not because we don't got the money, as Mickey liked to have said that we didn't earlier this season. Quick side note, and I know things feels and are pretty dire for us right now as Saints fans in terms of like football standings. Imagine being a Seahawks fan, bro. The head coach that essentially did like a mini rebuild. Essentially, you're doing what Pete Carroll and I'm blanking on the name. Is it Snyder? No, I'm trying to think who the GM.
Yeah, John Snyder.
It's John Snyder, right? What Pete Carroll and John Snyder were able to do with the Seahawks post trading a franchise quarterback in a mini rebuild where they were like, I remember last season they were like slotted to pick like top 5 in the draft, bro. Like they were supposed to be like a shit team, just like the Bucs are supposed to be a shit team, by the way. The Seahawks have basically been able to do like a mini rebuild that the Saints have been trying to kind of say that they're not doing, but they are doing, but they haven't been successful at it. If we're being honest, the Bucs have kind of done a mini rebuild too, if we're just being honest. But imagine being a Seahawks fan. You have Pete Carroll. He's taking you to 2 Super Bowls. John Snyder fires Pete Carroll to more than likely hire Dan Quinn. If I was a Seahawks fan watching that fucking Cowboys game this past weekend, bro, I'd be like, hiring Dan Quinn, and he got Booty Bandit and DeMarcus Lawrence, and they out there getting dicked in front of all the hoes, and we getting Pete Carroll for this. That'd be hot, bro.
Hot, bro. And here's the thing about Dan Quinn, because he was with the Falcons for a nice stretch.
He was.
And one thing he was not able to do was replicate that defensive success from a head coaching position. You know what I'm saying? Hell of a defensive coordinator.
Yes.
But like when you're the head coach, it's just different. You can't run your defense like minutely like you can when you're a DC. And like that would worry me, bro. That would worry me. It would worry me, especially offensively. Geno, like I don't know where he at with Geno, because you know, like Geno was really a Pete Carroll guy. You know what I'm saying? So now you back in that whole quarterback market. Like Dan Quinn had Matt Ryan at his highest level. You know, and
Kyle Shanahan
back when they were winning, Kyle Shanahan and all that. Like, bro. Hard out here, boys. It gets cold quick, bro. It get cold quick.
We brought up what? We brought up Bill Belichick. We brought up Pete Carroll. We brought up Jim Harbaugh. We haven't brought up like Mike Vrabel, who's also like all these good.
Mike Vrabel. I forgot about that.
Elite to good, like elite to great to good head coaches. all in this coaching cycle, right? All of them in this coaching cycle. But we got Dennis Allen. Dennis ain't down. The
young Bill Walsh right there, boy.
Young Bill Walsh. That's what I started calling him, bro. Just young Bill Walsh, bro.
Young Bill Walsh. I couldn't believe it. I saw that, bro. I saw that presser and my mouth was open the whole time because I couldn't believe what I was watching. And it was so funny, bro. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe because I'd never seen Loomis like that. I'd never seen him like that.
Well,
and just bullshit, like just lying, bro. Like, yep.
And here's the thing about
you don't believe that shit.
Here's the thing about bullshitters, bro. You can't bullshit a bullshitter. Like people say that
right.
is factual.
Can't.
Anyway, wrapping it up. So thank y'all so much for being patient for us getting this episode up. We appreciate y'all. Hopefully, and I should have said that at the very beginning, but if you watched this far, please like and subscribe on YouTube. Shout out to all our Patreons. Shout out to our listeners just in general. We are going to try to do a live show this week. We got to work out the details. More than likely, if we do one, I got to talk with Ryan about schedule. Have to be on Friday. I'll be in Phoenix on Friday for work, but we could do maybe a quick 40 minute live show from the hotel, from me in the hotel room. Honestly, I think a live show would be a good, like, if there's a week to do a live show, it's this week after that fucking whatever that fucking shit was today. Yeah. Just call it the fucking like reacting to Mickey's presser. It's just,
we might have to just play the presser like during it and just like live reacting to something out of it.
Don't let me go to the New Orleans website and figure out how to download it, bro. Because we be.
Oh man.
Anyway, but be on the lookout for that for the live show. We'll figure out when and where, but we'll try to get that up too. But thank y'all for all support. We know it's the off season. We know things seem dire because unfortunately they are dire. But just know that with us as a podcast, we tell it like it is, and we're gonna tell the truth. And I take a lot of pride in now, like, people, like, all the stuff we've been saying on this podcast for a very long time. People are like, oh shit. Oh, they were right.
They were right, man.
I work like 10-hour days, bro. Like, what why would I come home and talk about the Saints and just lie and pull a Mickey Loomis up for like an hour, bro? Like, I have better things to do. I literally have better things to do. We tell it like it is, because at the end of the day, we want to hold the team accountable. We want to hold the people in power accountable when they need to be held accountable. When teams winning and doing well, we throw all the flowers that are deserved. Go back and listen to our recap show after the second game of the season, or the preview pod before whatever game was game 3. Was that the Packers game? I don't remember. Go back and listen to those episodes, because we were befuddled of why the fan base was so like downtrodden after being 2-0.
Like, man, well, y'all just relax. We was like, so you cannot tell us we always negative.
Can't get it, bro.
We were trying to tell y'all, like, man, we're 2-0. Y'all chill.
But
you know, as evidence, as the evidence started to show itself.
When shit go bad, that's when we kind of just become our best versions of ourselves on this podcast. Like, but we want to shed that skin. We want to. I just want a Saints Block Party podcast season where they go like, I don't know, bro, like 10, like, can they like 10-7, but it's like a fun 10-7, because even they went 9-8 this season, bro. It was not like a fun 9-8, bro. It was like it
was tough,
dirty work, bro. But can we just get something tough like
to
that?
Watch.
Anyway, thank y'all for the support and being patient. We do truly appreciate it. We'll be back this week, hopefully for our live show, and then next week we'll be back with our episode, with another episode. recapping any news. But I think something that we want to do for next week is doing the ascending players, like top 5 players ascending, top 5 players descending, things like that. But anyway, thank y'all so much. We'll be back later this week, hopefully, and next week.